What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the PulseRoll massage gun and all the kit that comes with it, looking at what it can do, what it can't do. It's wasting no time, let's go. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at the massage gun itself, but I'm also going to compare it to some other ones that are on the market and even to the older model from PulseRoll. Obviously you can see there are a few differences there, but we'll get into the nitty gritty of what's different a little bit later on. First off, let's look at the design. So compared to the old one, it's a lot more compact and it just feels sleeker. You can see when it's in the box, which in itself is an addition, it fits better. It's just kind of easier to hold. You've got a groove in the back for your thumb. So if you're trying to apply a pressure down onto your leg or to wherever, you've got a groove for your thumb, which on some other models, like the old PulseRoll, you've got this big chunk here, which kind of gets in the way when you're trying to use it. However, this has totally eliminated that back piece, which is great for actually, really getting in there with it. It's also a pure, like matte black, which just gives a feel kind of a bit of quality, which obviously PulseRoll is kind of priced somewhere in the middle of the market right now. You can get the really cheap kind of rubbish ones. You can pay way more even for a Theragun or a like. So you're still parting with a fair bit of money to get your hands on one of these, so you want it to be quality. And that's the impression that I'm getting from the new model. I don't own any of the kind of cheaper, around the £100 or less mark ones, but I have used them. And just like anything that's kind of technology based, essentially you're getting what you pay for. And a lot of that, when you've paid a lot of money for something, comes from the feel. If you've taken something out of the box and it feels light or tacky or anything like that, it's immediately apparent. Now the opposite is true of this. As soon as I got this and held it in my hands, it's clear that there is a difference, even to the previous model and to any other models that I've used, that this has some quality to it. It's solid, there's no movement in it, it feels nice, the colors are good, and it feels like it's worth your money before you've even turned it on. So obviously when you receive something in the mail, like I just said, first impressions are everything, especially when you've spent so much money, and these things are on back order, so maybe you've waited a while to get your hands on one as well. First impressions are key. So let's just kind of take a look at what you're getting when it arrives. It comes in this nice big box, which, it's just well presented. It could have come in a packet just kind of by itself, but it's clear that these guys are taking care over how their product, how their business is portrayed. Now, for the most part, you're done with the box as soon as you've opened it, so it doesn't serve any purpose other than just how you get it. So for them to have taken care over just the box shows you the attention to detail that's going on in the whole rest of the product. So it sets a precedent. So next thing, you've got this carry case. Now this wasn't available with the previous model, and it's not available with most other massage guns. So I actually didn't know that it came with this when I ordered it. So yeah, great, super little addition. And in here, you've got a bunch of accessories. So here's a little kind of close-up of what we've got. You've got all of these different kind of tips for massaging different muscles with varying levels of intensity. You've got one for your back, you've got the medium and large balls and all of that, and the charger and the adapters and the shoulder strap and the instructions manual, all in one box right there, right off the bat. So this, two things. Again, we're talking about first impressions. This is great, but actually having used the previous model quite extensively over the last bobsleigh season, what I found myself wanting was a box for everything. In fact, I even bought a box to do exactly that. So the fact that PulseRoll are a step ahead of me and have provided one with the new gun is brilliant. So it means that I can now pack this and take it to the track, take it training, take it wherever, and have all of the different additions. Before, I was sticking to pretty much just taking the one I use the most, which is the smaller ball, and just whacking the whole massage gun in my bag and kind of forgetting about the other accessories. So now I can give this to my physio, or I can take it myself, and we've got all the different adjustments to be able to cater to what we need when competing. Okay, so that's all of the first impressions, the box. Let's get down to the really important part, the performance. So we're going to switch it on from the bottom and then select the speed. So on the top you've got the battery level and you've got the 4 different speeds. Now again, the first time I turned this on, having used the previous ones, I was not expecting how fast this thing gets up to speed. Less than a second, I'd say, between turning it on and it being at full speed. So let's make sure this is attached and let's go. And right there, we're already up. We're up and going and ready to. Whereas other models, they're going to take a second to kind of get moving and get right into it. Now the other part, which is immediately apparent, is you can still hear me absolutely fine, because this thing is quiet. Even if we turn it up a couple of notches, let's go to the max one. Okay, the max is fairly loud, but it's not obnoxiously loud. Like, I could hear my TV or my computer or whatever over the max setting. Now, I rarely use the max setting. I'm usually on number 2 if I'm using this. And you can have a conversation, you can hear people, people can hear you, you could watch TV, you could do anything with this still running. Again, that's not something you get from cheaper models or the previous model even. It was quite loud, and other models are quite loud. So you've got a choice of, do I use my massage gun or do I watch TV? Now, you can just sit there, and I do often on an evening, might kick my legs up and just kind of massage through my quads or something, or maybe do my pec, and it's not interrupting the rest of my life. And that harks to even other PulseRoll products. The fact that a vibrating pulse roller, I've got one here for display purposes, it does work though, of course. The beauty of using a vibrating roller is you don't necessarily have to roll that much, which means you can add it into your life really easily. If I want to roll out my calves or my hips, again, I can do that just watching TV in the evening and just kind of like find a spot and let the machine do the work for me. And that's what's going on with this PulseRoll, because it's quiet. But don't let the quietness fool you and think that it's lacking in power or anything, because it's really not. It's way more powerful than the last one. I think the output is the same, but what I noticed was with, again, and I'm kind of using the previous PulseRoll as akin to cheaper models. Now this is way superior than even the cheaper models, but it's not as good as the new one. So I'm kind of comparing as we go here. But if you use a cheaper massage gun, as soon as you try and apply any force, it'll just cut out or it'll lose its power or anything like that. Now I'm really leaning on this thing into my leg right now, and it's still going. It's going fine. It's pretty grisly, don't get me wrong, but that's the right kind of grisly, right? And it's still going, whereas I know for a fact other models, if I'm leaning on it like this, or if I've got someone leaning on it on me, it's just gonna fade out. That's a key principle for a massage gun, is its power, because essentially what you're trying to use this for is to emulate a physio or a massage therapist's hands. Now, they are going to be able to put their whole weight behind their thumb or their elbow or whatever those sadists like to use to cause pain to athletes. But essentially what you have here is the option to do that yourself if you want to. You don't have to worry about, is this its breaking point or anything like that. You can really give this thing some graft. And again, that talks to the quality of it, that I trust this thing. It's solid, it's powerful, it's quiet, but it's there. Like I don't feel like this thing is going to break on me if I put some pressure through it. Whereas again, if you've got a little kind of cheap plasticky thing that's rattling and you're really trying to like get in there on a muscle, you're going to be having those second thoughts. Will this break the thing that I've spent all of this money on? Not getting that with this. Now, battery life, I've not had a problem with the battery on this. I'll charge it up maybe once a week or anything, and I've actually never run the battery down doing exactly that. I can't tell you exactly how long it's going to run for, but at least several hours on the 1 or 2, because that's how much I've used it. And realistically, that's a functional amount of time. Okay, so the last thing to look at is the price with this. Now, they're not cheap. They're not cheap. So is the difference of almost maybe 3 times the price of a kind of cheap, I'm hesitant to say knockoff because it's not, but you know, one of these kind of just budget massage guns, is that going to do the trick in a pinch? Maybe you're going to maybe get a bit of release. And are some accessories and a better build quality and the box worth paying 3 times the price? That kind of depends on you and how much you're willing to spend on these things. For me, it is, because it's a large part of my life. If I can use this thing and use the quality and really lean into the massage and get things right in an evening, that means I can train harder the next day. And for me, that's my job. That's a huge difference. I don't want to be relying on something which ultimately I can't rely on, because I don't know if it's gonna, you know, crap out, or if it's gonna break, or if it's actually gonna do the job. So for me, it's worth paying the extra to have all of those options and to have the reliability. But ultimately, I can't speak for you. If you're watching this, you may well be interested in buying one. If you're interested in the PulseRoll, and that's kind of the price range that you're willing to pay to kind of up your recovery game, 100% go for it. You won't be disappointed. That's the key here. For that price, you need to not be disappointed, and you won't be. Everything from opening the box to actually using it on the regular, on your muscles, is top quality, which you need to be getting for this price. But I would say it's up there with both the peak in quality, but also the peak in price. I wouldn't want to pay any more than this costs, and there are more expensive ones out there, believe me or not. But using this, I don't find that there's anything I feel it's lacking. You know, if I thought, I'd like this feature and I'd be willing to pay for it, I can't think of that. So that is pretty much, I think, as good as it's going to get. It's compact, it's got good battery life, it's strong, and it's got all other features. So for me, it 100% works. So as far as my endorsement of this product, I think that's where this ends. It works for me. So if you're interested in buying your own massage gun, and ultimately I recommend that you do, or you want any other PulseRoll product, you can use the code AXEL10 to get £10 off. It's not a huge amount, but it's better than nothing, and it goes towards helping me out and helping me run these reviews on this channel as well. So link is down in the description, or you can use that code. The choice is yours, or you can use neither, or you can not buy one at all, but realistically, if you're here, I think you should. If you've got any questions, throw them in the comments. I'll try and answer them as best I can. Please do hit like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And if I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a big giveaway. So you could help yourself by hitting the subscribe button and entering that competition when it happens. Regardless, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.